Well, it was a pretty crowded platform at 11 because also formally launching his campaign to be leader of the Conservative Party and the next Prime Minister was the senior backbencher Tom Tugendhat. So let's have a listen now to some of what he had to say.
Well, good morning. It's very good to see you. Welcome. Families across the United Kingdom are facing a moment of crisis. It's becoming harder for people to simply get by. For so many, there is more month than pay, and we're facing danger abroad, division in our politics, an economy saddled with debt, and a creeping sense of despair about our collective future. This is a defining moment for us. It's a defining moment for our country, it's a defining moment for our party, and it's going to test the values on which we stand. I'm going to talk about economic policy today, but for me, for Conservatives, leading on the economy is not only a question of policy. It's a question of values, it's a question of mission, a question of our task and our purpose. We have been charged with the mission of advancing the interests of the British economy and the British people. They have asked us to hold ground for them, to secure the possibility of prosperity for each of them. They have asked us not only to hold the line, but to advance their aspirations, to move them and their children more confidently into the future, to hear them and to respond to them, and most importantly, to serve them, advancing all of us towards a future with a fairer, stronger, and more resilient economy. They've asked us to advance, and yet we have retreated. In a moment that is so desperate for so many, when our service is most needed, we have retreated. We have retreated into the pettiness of politics that is more about personality than principle. We have retreated into division when we desperately need unity. When our nation needed our party to function, we retreated into faction. When the moment demanded service, we delivered scandal. This is a crisis of purpose, of leadership, and of trust. We have been divided and distracted when we need to be united, responsive, and committed to our future and to the future of our people. I'm sorry, but I cannot accept retreat. We should not accept retreat. We must return to service. We need leadership with a renewed sense of mission. Leadership that sees beyond divisive politics and delivers results. Leadership that will return government to the service of our economy, our people, and our country. We need a clean start. For me, that is much more than just a slogan or a catchphrase. It's a mission statement. It describes our path forward together. It summarizes our advance orders for the next decade. It allows us to move forward together, afresh, optimistic, enthusiastic, confident, post-Brexit, and ready to seize the moment anew. That is why I'm introducing my 10-year plan for growth. It will return our government to the service of the British people and the British economy. It will make our economy stronger, our society fairer, and make our country more resilient. And it will do it by returning to the core values that unite us all as Conservatives. I believe in liberty and the low taxes necessary to defend it. I believe in responsibility and the honesty essential to delivering it. And I believe that with a clean start and with a return to service, we can ensure the prosperity of homes and families in every part of the country. Stronger, fairer, and more resilient. I believe that a clean start that returns us to the service of the people will produce a brighter future. Our economy should be advancing, not retreating, yet millions of people are opening bills with dread, not knowing what they'll have to cut to pay for what they need. They're filling up their car, wondering what it will cost to get to work the next day or the next month. And every day, families are seeing their savings being steadily eroded and wondering, will this be over by Christmas? This just isn't sustainable. It's not fair. It's not right. We must act. Like all Conservatives, I want people to keep more of their own money. I believe that we should cut the cost of government wherever we can, but this isn't an auction. I'm not here to bid for the highest or the lowest on every tax policy. I'm here to make the case that our economy can only prosper if we believe that people, and not Westminster, know best how to spend their money. I know the pain that families are feeling now, and that is why my first pledge is to take fuel duty down by 10 pence a litre. My second is to reverse the national insurance rise. Now, this isn't about percentages, it's about jobs, it's about families, it's about workers. That's why I didn't vote for the increase then, and I wouldn't do so now. But that's not enough. We need to go further. I want to ensure that we cut the right taxes and get the right results. Our investment incentives are amongst the worst in the OECD. That means that it's less attractive to invest in the UK than it should be. That fewer businesses buy machinery, train their staff, and plan for the long term. Now, economists call that productivity, and they tell us that we don't have enough of it. What that really means is that we don't create enough, we don't create fast enough, and we don't sell well enough. Now, that means that every hour, British workers are not getting the return on their effort that they should, and people across our country are losing out. We can fix it. Businesses can invest more in technology and training to drive up real pay, not inflation. But they can only do it if we change the incentives, and that means making it cheaper for companies to invest in their future. That is why I'm committing to ensuring businesses have the certainty they need to invest for the long term by introducing a programme of permanent full expensing, giving firms the confidence they need to plan for future growth. The United Kingdom, under my leadership, will have the most investment-friendly tax system in the OECD within 5 years. But let me make clear, tax cuts cannot be the only round in the magazine. My 10-year strategy for growth goes beyond taxes. What we need is deregulation to allow companies to
Well, that's backbencher Tom Tugendhat launching his campaign to be the next Conservative Party leader and Prime Minister of the country.